Welcome back. You know what time it is. Mike Eppel hanging out right there. Good morning to you.
Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. How are you?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm good. Okay. When is it not a busy day in the business world? That's my first question. Never.
It's never.
Never. Let's begin south of the border. Expected U.S. Central Bank raising interest rate. So what does this all mean?
It means your borrowing costs are just going up and up and up here, Melanie. Good morning. The U.S. Central Bank did the expected with its latest interest rate announcement, raising its overnight lending rate by 0.75%. Third supersized rate increase in a row for the U.S. Central Bank. And they're saying, look, the U.S. inflation rate is still up around 8%. They got to get it down to between 1% to 3%. So they're telling the market and borrowers that interest rates are going to keep going up from these levels. And I guess the big question here is a recession the end result of all of this? They are not saying it outright, but we're kind of starting to hear a little bit of nuance in their guidance that they really want to clamp down on the economy and bring inflation down. And the only way to do that is basically to cause a recession and slow down consumer spending and the demand for goods and bring prices as much as they can down from where they are right now.
Okay, Mike, so we watch that. What's going to happen here?
It's going to be a challenge for the Bank of Canada, actually, because, look, they've already raised interest rates 5 times, including a full percentage point jump earlier this summer. But there's going to be a point where the Bank of Canada is, do they have to follow the Fed's lead, or are we more sensitive, I suppose, to interest rate shocks because Canadians have a lot of debt? And the housing market, of course, was maybe overinflated more so than what we saw in the United States. And also, Melanie, we haven't heard any talk about this yet, but when we get into government budget season, last time I checked, borrowing, paying the interest on government debts was, I think, like third most expensive item for the Ford government. So if they've got to start borrowing money at higher interest rates, what does that do to the budget? And this is going to be a household issue as well. Net result, I'll say this morning that the Canadian dollar is down to a 2-year low against the U.S. dollar. And this is a phenomenon we're seeing not just for the Canadian dollar, but the Japanese yen, the British pound, the euro. All of them are testing multi-year or multi-decade lows against the U.S. dollar because the U.S. Is seen as the bellwether for interest rates, currency markets, and all of this is having a major ripple effect through what we're seeing in the markets. Stocks are down today, or were down yesterday as well, quite significantly.
Marcus, let's talk about what's happening in the housing department. New census data showing us what?
Well, that the pace of renting was outpacing that of home buying over the past decade. The census indicating that there are about 10 million Canadians who own homes right now, 5 million renters. But that rental market has expanded because people were priced out of the market as real estate prices hit record upon record. So it's going to be interesting to see, as prices have dropped, but interest rates have gone up, do we see a shift, or does it continue to see more people renting? What have we seen lately, Melanie? Rental costs hitting records on a monthly basis.
Mike, let's get to the skies for your final topic here. Canada's newest airline taking flight.
Yeah, Canada Jetlines launching today from Pearson to Calgary. They're going to start slow and just do, 2 flights a day, Toronto, Pearson to Calgary, and then kind of expand as they get more planes. But we're starting to see a little bit more competition come into the market here. We've got Flair Airlines. I think Lynx Air is another one. And of course, the 2 dominant players, Air Canada and WestJet. And then you've got the off-brand Swoop and Rouge and all these others. So maybe a little bit more choice. It'll be interesting to see how competitive, though, they can be with prices, Melanie, because of the fact that, look, the competition for flight crews is up there. So wages are going to be on the rise. And, of course, the jet fuel bill, last time I checked, wasn't getting any less expensive.
No, but I think people are looking to roll the dice and take their chances with something new if they're frustrated with something old.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a nice look. It is always better to have more choice than less, right?
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, Mike, as always, a pleasure. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
Take care.